My God. No way. Oh my God. What is that? Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is SKYMAN Universe and your Star Wars quote for today. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet. And today we're going to be reacting to Ahsoka Part 5, Episode 5. The day which I've been waiting for all week and dreaming about. I mean, in my humble opinion, last week's episode was just magical. And it was near perfection for me, if not achieved it, for a TV episode, to say the least. It just had all the right beats. It kept things moving. It deviated in different ways to keep things moving. And then to land in the world between worlds, Veil of the Force. And then to have Anakin there at the end. I mean, even to say that and just to hear myself say that again, it was just, I loved it so much. And I think you probably see my reaction was pretty genuine. I mean, you've got to think it's all this like built up love for the prequels, which I had when I was growing up. That's when I was a teenager, so it sort of started from when I was 9 or 10. And then for the prequels, and then when I was about 15, I think it was, Revenge of the Sith. And growing up, obsessed and loved Anakin Skywalker so much. And then to have that again now when you're older, like we're all having the same thing in different ways. But we land at the end with Anakin and we sort of have that same reaction as Ahsoka. Even though we got him when, like I said, in Obi-Wan Kenobi. But there's just something... I think because this is Dave Filoni's doing, and I think he's been quite clever in how he's been used here at the moment. I had no idea in a million years that Anakin would show up in the Veil of the Force. I just didn't think that whatsoever. And only when we was watching last week's episode, then did I realise that I thought, well, maybe he'll turn up as a Force ghost. And then I was thinking, my goodness. And a little bit after that, then Anakin turns up, but not as a Force ghost, in the present. That's what I found just crazy. And that's when, because of the situation, because of the scenario, because of the story and the stakes, or what's at stake at the moment, anything could happen. This is the thing. Like, if Anakin's there in the present for Ahsoka, like, has he been able to go to the Veil of the Force? He's not wearing his Return of the Jedi robes, like Sebastian Shaw robes. He's wearing his Revenge of the Sith robes. There's sort of dark attire just as he's sort of on the turn. He smiles, but he doesn't have his scar on his face. He's got Darth Vader's lightsaber, not his lightsaber. I mean, something crazy I feel like is about to develop and be presented to us.
This is where the fun begins.
I've thought about it all week, /obsessed, and there's so many things which could sort of take place, and I wish I made a video on it, of all the speculations, because literally every single day I've had something, a new idea, new this, and what could it be that, I was counting down the days. And the fact that Anakin Skywalker, he's not in his Return of the Jedi robes, he's in his Revenge of the Sith robes. He hasn't got his scar on there. He's carrying Darth Vader's lightsaber. Did Anakin always have access to the Veil of the Force? Could he get in there? Is it a trick? Like, there's so many interesting things which could happen with this. Like, just in one episode, my excitement levels, I was excited to whoosh, like, to the very top, max. Like, Anakin's there, not as a Force ghost, in the present. The fact that he's got Darth Vader's lightsaber, it's put there for a reason. Will there be that concept, like in The Force Awakens, or one of the scripts somewhere, where Anakin sort of turns between Anakin Skywalker as a Force ghost and then Darth Vader, and there's that constant switch? That would kind of diminish Anakin purely turning to the light. So it's really intriguing, because he has to be good, because he's, we know he's a Force ghost. Anakin Skywalker turned to the light side of the Force. That was it for the story. But the Veil of the Force sort of offers something different. If someone went in there, time's different, the scenes are different, someone could be manipulating it. Everything is sort of on the table, and I literally do not have a clue how on earth this thing is going to play out. But all I could say is my excitement is just off the roof right now. Also, I've been watching season 2 now, Rebels, which I've been going through each week. And I landed at the point where Ahsoka, Kanan, and Ezra go into the Jedi Temple. Kanan becomes a Jedi Knight. It's all sort of meaningful again. Ezra sees Yoda. That's really meaningful. Ahsoka sees Darth Vader. Literally, that episode, I had no idea what episode I was going to land with last night. That episode where Ahsoka's there in the Jedi Temple, Anakin's behind, and he says, "You do know what I've become." And then she looks over at Anakin. And I was like, my gosh, we're going to have that tomorrow. Well, I mean, at least I hope we have something similar to that. But as you can probably tell, my excitement levels are pretty high at the moment. But I think we should wait no longer and enjoy this thing and unravel it all. I mean, we've forgot about the elephant in the room. Of course, the big ring blasting off into another galaxy, which is absolutely insane. And the fact that Sabine was taken on there, I thought was just brilliant. I thought that was a great idea. So the fact... will we see Thrawn in this? I don't know. Will we see Ezra in this? I mean, those are very exciting ideas. This episode could be absolutely insane. But also, I read it on the paragraph, whatever the sentence underneath the episode. It's like, Hera goes for, like, fights back or something. Like, who does she fight back when everyone is gone? Does she manage to travel as well? I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting episode. I mean, there might not be any Anakin Skywalker at all. I just don't get how you can have a cliffhanger like that not included. That would be insane. But yes, that's a speculation side over, I'd say. And I think you can quite easily gauge how I'm feeling at the moment for this. So let's sit back, get our snacks ready. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And enjoy this thing.
Your legacy, like your
And
master's.
of course, Vader's lightsaber fight. It was brilliant. I loved it. Just the heavy slashes remind me of Jedi Outcast when you toggle between medium, light and heavy with the swings. I just really sort of connected to that sort of style. I don't know why.
To serve a greater good.
Like Balin gets it. I don't know what it is, but he gets it. He's got a calm demeanor.
Do it.
Do it.
Yes.
And they knew what they was doing there with that word. And you Star Wars fans would rejoice and applaud. But the fact that he seems honourable, even Count Dooku wouldn't even be like that. He's got Sith all over his face. So someone's back's telling you, you have my word. And then they'll turn around and then... Balin is a bit different. Like, I don't think he'll do stuff like that. Which makes him a really intriguing character. That scene was freaking awesome. Still gets me. I've watched that about 20 times. At least. If they jump straight back into that scene... Gosh. They know what they're doing here. And I love the reference to the Jedi Archives, having that map. The Ghost, you look spectacular. You see Hera in a orange shorts there, it's just shorts, trousers. It's like iconic visual candy. I mean, with the ship and Hera and everyone. What if Ahsoka sees Kanan? My god, what if Ahsoka grabbed Kanan from the explosion? Oh my gosh. Please. Bring the Jedi back. That would be so awesome. Ahsoka can totally bring the Jedi back. This could be the biggest Star Wars retcon in all of Star Wars history. No, please don't let Ahsoka come out. We want to see her in the Veil of the Force. Just look at the O. That's where we want to be. So we're getting shivers at... Here we go. My gosh.
Anakin. You look the same.
You look old.
Well, that happens. Actually, what happened?
You lost a fight.
I don't remember.
Trust me. You lost.
Baylan's skull.
That's good.
God.
Why?
It means you still have a chance.
I feel like I've gone in the time machine.
Chance. Tell me what's going on.
I'm here to finish your training.
It's a little late for that.
One is never too old to learn, Snips.
He's gonna train us be a Force Ghost.
All right.
That's why he's there.
What's the lesson, Master?
Live. Or die.
I won't fight you.
No.
I've heard that before.
No. Oh god, I almost can't watch this. What the hell is happening? Oh my god. This is too early for this. I thought he was gonna teach us be a Force Ghost, like how it sort of passed on and Obi-Wan learnt, Yoda learnt. Qui-Gon taught Yoda. I thought it was going to be that sort of troll thing, and that would make perfect sense as to why Anakin was there. I can't believe it, like, honestly, just...
Mom.
Not now, Jason.
We might benefit from people asking a few more questions.
Jason knows.
What if we don't have any answers?
Jason, if there was anything out there, Chopper would pick it up on his scanner.
Oh, Mom.
General,
That's so special. I miss Kanan Jarrus so much. So I'm
Parson,
here.
get your squadron airborne.
Force
We need you
sensitive
out
as
over the
well.
ocean, low altitude.
we better get on it then. Lander, get everyone moving. We're going back up again.
Did he say Lando? Carlton. My god. My god. Oh god. He looks so good. Seriously.
Looks like you don't have much left to.
So they're all training or not training? My god. No way. Oh my god. What is happening?
Hurry up, Snips!
What the fuck? This is freaking insane. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. This is... seriously, I need to get myself a clone trooper costume. Seriously, this is Clone Wars. My, Mr. Filoni, we are being treated today. But will they continue forth to other places? Please see Jango Fett. Tomorrow. Please. Why does that make me so upset?
Be right back.
Freaking Rex! Oh my god. So good. That is Rex. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We lost so many.
I need to see this as a series now.
It was my fault. They were following.
You must adjust to the times. Look, when Obi-Wan taught me, we were keepers of the peace. But now, to win this war, I have to teach you to be a soldier.
Imagine if we saw Obi-Wan.
Bert!
Listen, I'm teaching you how to lead, how to survive. And to do that, you're going to have to fight.
I've been binge playing Battlefront as well. So this is very,
And you'll die.
very fitting. All these droid noises, non-stop supremacy for the Galactic Republic.
Let's go.
This is insane, honestly. This is just everything I've wanted to see for... I don't know what to say anymore. It's just so good. I love it so much. And they find such a clever way to make it meaningful as well. Like with Jason in there. And then him having that connection. It's just like really exciting, the potential that could come forth for the Jedi.
Nothing out here.
I wish I would get a secret call from Lucasfilm and say, would you like to be a pilot, an X-Wing pilot, one line, one scene? Love that so much. It's like my life goal. I want to be a Jedi Knight.
The droid said low.
I just had like a crazy thought, but imagine the whole Rebels team gets together, and that's a live action series I would love to see. And she's older, my goodness, everyone face 2 clone troopers. Oh my gosh, I'm mad here. This is freaking amazing. This is the I haven't seen anything so cool in the Star Wars film. Oh my god. It's everything.
Or we had parted ways by now.
Looks intense.
It was.
I am all the knowledge I possess, just as I inherited knowledge from my master and he from his.
Oh my god.
We're part of a legacy.
But my part of that legacy is one of death and war.
But you're more than that.
I'm in disbelief, honestly. I can't hold it in.
You are more Anakin. But more powerful and dangerous than anyone realized.
Is that what this is about?
If I am everything you are,
You've learned nothing.
don't say that.
Back to the beginning. I gave you a choice. Live.
No. My
Die.
god.
Incorrect.
If they played the Imperial March, yeah, I would have lost it. Oh my. This is it's just, oh god. Seeing with the red lights, freaking hell.
You lack conviction. To die.
He looks just as scary as he did in Revenge of the Sith.
I choose to live.
But nobody beats Anakin except Obi-Wan. Just think of how long Anakin and Obi dueled for. I just don't know what to expect anymore. Like, even jumping in, I was thinking, is that Ezra Bridger?
We got her, John.
However, you might have been lost for good, if not for Jason.
Jason is here.
He's your
With
apprentice.
his mother and a squadron of X-Wings. All unauthorized.
Jason is meant to be your Padawan, not Sabine.
Oh, what happened? Possibly.
She looks so good. I love it when I check it. And we've still got ages left. Lets me relax a little bit more. I forgot about the purple. There could be your key.
The Senate Oversight Committee is going to determine if your command should be permanently suspended.
I hate the New Republic.
You are going to need...
They've got like a massive, crazy hyperspace ring. They've got some ships.
I'm not sure I like this plan.
Yes, I would like to second that.
I love Ahsoka's poncho. That is so cool. She looks so good. I can't wait to see people cosplay as that version of Ahsoka. Because you know it's happening already.
Anything they do?
I don't know what it is. It's something with those visuals, those colours. Something. It just feels so good. I don't know why. I love the space world so much. I think it's such a great idea. It's the same feeling you'd get if you saw a whale in real life as a giant.
Up ahead.
Spacesuit? No. Waits the Zelo beats. It's like they're a dot in front. It's amazing.
General?
Look, we're all on the same side here.
No, you're not.
Tell us what Ahsoka Tano and General Syndulla are up to, and perhaps we can help.
The best way you can help is to maintain your distance until I can confirm that General Syndulla has completed her mission.
Arm the tractor beam.
Yeah. Sounds like Kathleen Kennedy in the bridge seat there.
I'll give you one last chance, Captain Tabor.
Definitely.
Explain the nature of this mission, or I will see to it that you are stripped of
Are
your
we
rank
meant to
for
hate the
resisting
New
a direct
Republic?
order
Because I
from
really do hate them. They're so annoying. Nothing like the Rebel Alliance.
But you're not gonna believe me.
Don't do it. I swear Ahsoka's never looked more like Ahsoka than ever. She looks so good. They're gonna take them in the mouth.
Get in there. Move us in.
All right. But you best come back inside.
Well, never would have thought of that.
Maneuvers, get clear of their path.
You didn't do that quick enough, did you? Nice to see the creatures department doing their thing.
Kara, I'll find them. I promise. May the Force be with you.
Incredible. Dave Filoni, you utter genius. Thank you so much. Thank you. Man, thank you. Never in a million years would I have expected to see the things which we saw in that episode. Everything that I have thought about when I was younger, since watching the Clone Wars and dreamed about seeing Hayden as Clone Wars Anakin interacting with Ahsoka, seeing that in live action, seeing clone troopers again, Phase 1 clone troopers, all armoured up in costume, to have any sort of connection like that, like to Episode 2, like full on Episode 2 and Clone Wars, slap bang between that era. In live action, I would just, no, I would say not in a million years would that happen. And to sit there and have that episode, and just to go through the whole thing the whole thing is incredible. I really am lost for words because I don't know what to say, how to feel. Like that has impacted me in some way. I don't know how to explain it. It's really strange, but for a Star Wars fan such as myself, that was very special. I think the first thing to say is thank you, Dave Filoni, for that episode, because that was everything that I've always wanted in anything Star Wars, stuff like that to crop up in the movies, and always sort of knowing that the story could never head in that direction because we were so far beyond all the Clone Wars and the prequels and things. So to keep that still alive, that era, fresher than ever, and harken back to things that they've done, like the new sort of Clone Wars things and the Siege on Manslaughter, and just even seeing that, it's so special. I'd never thought that we'd have anything like that ever. And the fact that Dave Filoni has created this, not that you ever watch it, but I'll speak first person, thank you so much. But the fact that he put all this together, he wrote it, he's carefully thought out the process. It's been done so well, honestly. This is a typical George Lucas creation, but it's a Dave Filoni creation. They sit side by side in this, in my opinion, and to see how this is being forged, it just worked so well. Like leading up to that, heading to the Veil of the Force, coming up through the water, going back through flashbacks, the training, the intertwining of Darth Vader, Anakin, growing up with Ahsoka Tano throughout that as well. It was all so well done. Like none of it even felt like fan service to me. It felt integral to the story because it's Ahsoka growing up, her moral dilemmas that she's having. You have that chemistry between Ahsoka and Anakin, but Hayden Christensen Anakin as well, which is just incredible. I mean, all the Clone Wars actors must be sitting there applauding as well, because it's, they're to thank for so much love that we've piled into the Clone Wars. And because of, all the voice things they've done, they brought, the characters Obi, Anakin, and Ahsoka to life. And then it heightens the whole experience even further now to bring it back to live action again. It's like a complete circle. It's all gone round, and it's just gone on this magnificent journey. And now we've got to sort of just harken back to all of those things which we've grew up loving and watching, and like I still watch, and it's integral to so many of us. And this episode, you feel that it's like pumping through its veins. It's pure Star Wars in my eyes. It's not holding anything back. It's moving forward. The story is interesting. There's links with the Empire. There's links with Ahsoka's past and the prequels, even to dare I say it, the sequels. But there's a story beyond in my eyes. Like, it still can go in interesting places and directions, and it keeps Star Wars feeling great and alive and interesting again. I mean, immediately after watching that, I just thought, I want my clone trooper phase 1 armor. I want that now. To see Rex there, my freaking goodness. That was voiced by Tamara Morrison, or was that voiced by Billy D? Which, yeah, I think it was probably Billy, I think. But it was just special. Like, even to see Rex there was just, I assume that was Rex, but, you know, it was brilliant. And this is one thing which I applaud them for so much. It's so subtle, and maybe to other people it's meaningless, but think of droids, you know, how many of them there are, B-1 battle droids. Jedi just cut them down here and there, you know, they're just cannon fodder basically in the battlefield. Think about clone troopers. The Clone Wars gave personalities to every single clone trooper, and they all became special in some way or form. But even in the movies, you've got so many of them, and they are sort of seen as cannon fodder, even in the scenes where they're all just running forward. You think, oh, they're just running, and, you know, they'll be shot down, blasted by a droid at some point. But you don't give it the character. Still, it's still sort of, you know what the clone trooper's duty is there to do, but then you have that moment with Ahsoka where she rests her hand on the clone trooper. I don't know if he's dead, he's already got the bandage around his head, but he just puts his hand on her, and it's like, my God, it just brings this added depth to these characters all the time. This is what I think Dave Filoni excels at. Characters is his thing, which a gift, and George Lucas has it as well. And he knows those moments, you know, and he's picked up on that. Something, I think that was just a nod to all the Clone Wars fans and things. Just, you know, like, we're not forgotten in a way, and it's just like, we've got you, you know. And it's just subtle things like that which I think have just been so nicely done and made all those scenes incredible. I really didn't know what was actually happening, like if Anakin was remaining as Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, like was that him in the present? The thing is, the fact that she sort of fell off the cliff, fell into the veil of the Force, you know, was she dead? Was she nearing that point? You know, having these visions of things, and that's how she was brought back, because it's sort of not her time yet. But during that time, Anakin Skywalker, to me, he's sort of in the present there, you know, and the fact that he sort of switches between Darth Vader, like that, to me, it seemed like it was a test, but then it didn't seem like a test. But then, in retrospect, like in hindsight, it feels like a test, like it was a test again, and that I feel like Anakin is guiding Ahsoka to a path that we don't know yet, but he's doing it in a very wise way. Like, he knows, I feel like knows what he's done, what's to do, and how to help Ahsoka still. Like, the fact that he's gone to Ahsoka, you know, to help her directly, his apprentice, just speaks more than words can say. I mean, I'm just going to take myself out this a bit, you know, and just think, you could say this is, you know, complete fiction, but then I think about things like this. When you've grown up with something for so long, you've obsessed about it for so long and loved every moment of it, it's sort of who you are. And to me, I've had more enjoyment with Star Wars lore than we have probably our own history with stuff. But anyway, I digress. With Anakin, there sort of, to me, it seemed, this is how I'm interpreting it. It was him in the present. I feel like he's going to eventually teach Ahsoka to become a Force ghost, the same way Qui-Gon taught Yoda, Yoda taught Obi-Wan, I don't know who taught Anakin, but Anakin's the chosen one, so he sort of gets a free pass, so to speak, and now it's Anakin's time to teach Ahsoka, and these were sort of Ahsoka's trials, just like, or some of them, just like how Yoda had his trials as well, seeing, you know, facing Dark Yoda and Sidious, and I feel like there was a similarity there. Where it leads to, I don't know, but all I say is just, even though we've seen the Anakin, creepy Anakin in Obi-Wan, which, you know, is so sad because I wish now that Dave Filoni was directing, writing, and just making that show the same way he was doing Ahsoka, because I feel like that now was just a complete missed opportunity there, like heavy influence in there. It would have been amazing. We saw creepy Anakin with the mask coming off in his voice, so you had that Darth Vader Anakin transition. But then in this, there's something that's even cooler, I thought, where he's just sort of walking with his red lightsaber, and then it switches and flashes between Darth Vader and then back to Anakin with the red lightsaber. And what I'll do, I've always done it, I take those scenes, I rescore it with John Williams music, and in my eyes that was calling for an Imperial March variation or Battle of the Heroes, kind of just a subtle motif in there or something, which would really just made that transition go. Seeing him walking across along the bridge, and it's switching with the atmosphere and the Darth Vader and the slight voice change there, but not with a damaged Anakin. That was amazing, and that's one of those scenes I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna say it again because I think in my eyes, Anakin Hayden Christensen has always been my hero. There's never not been a time where that man hasn't been at the top of my, all-time heroes, because of his role as Anakin Skywalker, who was sort of very not influential, like, I think that's the wrong word, where you grow up with something, sure, you take on board, certain things, and you think about things, and maybe it becomes a part of you in a way. It's more so sort of being there, like a companion, so to speak. And for me, it was very important during that age, and it sort of stayed with me. And now to have Hayden there, like, I'm sure he realizes as well, but to so many fans, Star Wars is something than just movies, and to have Hayden there, bringing back, that character again, and playing him so well. The acting in this was just marvelous in my eyes. It just, to see him play the different variations of Anakin as well, that must have been pretty hard. The wise Anakin, the Jedi Knight Anakin, the sort of fallen Anakin. But the icing on the cake for me was the Clone Wars Anakin. I feel like there was special, meticulous care with the intonation of certain sentences and how he would say things. There was a slight difference in how there was more of a connection with Anakin from the Clone Wars in those sentences. I noticed these small things in there, and Hayden Christensen, I think, has just done a marvelous job doing that. And one, I can't thank him enough for coming back. Two, his acting is done perfectly. And three, it's just like he stepped out of Revenge of the Sith. Honestly, some of those scenes where he's sort of the dark Anakin, and then you see that look, and it's like, wow, like, is Obi-Wan just gonna jump through here in a minute? Secretly hoping that as well. I mean, I really hope, because Anakin and Ahsoka, they have their connection, but there is kind of a trio. Obi-Wan was integral to that trio as well. And if there was some sort of Obi-Wan thing, imagine if we got a Force Ghost Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan together, looking at Ahsoka, my god, as she takes on a new apprentice, Jason Solo, and Ezra Bridges is there as well. That would just be perfection. I could see this sort of heavenly Jedi scenario at the end. This is what I strongly believe it could be a massive problem, is that this could be done so well that the sequels will just get rid of it still, and because we know where it goes further on in the timeline. But Ahsoka coming back, Jason Solo, Ezra Bridger, it's sort of so much potential for this sort of rebirth for the Jedi, rebirth for Star Wars. And there's something about Ahsoka as well. She just looks magnificent. Honestly, there's scenes in here, I don't know how to explain it. It's like this weird feeling. It's a sort of ethereal look of Ahsoka, and just the whole, even inside a cockpit, the cabin, all the colours sit well with me. I don't know how that makes any sense whatsoever, but she looks so good and lifelike, and it feels so real, and I can't almost differentiate if I'm watching animation or live action because the characters are so intertwined with one another now. You don't even notice a difference, or I don't anyway. And that realism there, and Rosario Dawson, who's just ups her Ahsoka just even more. She continues to play it better and better. And, even when you're standing on the side of the ship and she's saying, "In you go," that was just the character, the humor. Like she's just gone through this test, and now she's come to peace with a little bit more of herself and can sort of move on a little bit. And she has that connection with Anakin there as well. The fact that she saw her master, she's feeling happier and more confident in herself, and sort of understood something a little bit more. There's so much to talk about. My God, there's honestly, I still I could probably be here for the next 24 hours still going strong about this episode and connections and how well this was done. But this was movie quality stuff. The fact there was a good, decent size in for the time as well, in length of this episode, was great, because I was worried that when she came back, that was sort of the end, and then I saw it was like 19 minutes left. Perfection. So yeah, it's just really magical, and I really hope that further on down the line there will somehow be a connection with Luke Skywalker. I think, because is this going to be the last of the TV shows for the while? I know they've got the others, whatever they are, but I think to sort of complete what we've had so far, I think just something for Luke Skywalker to know where the Jedi are, just a bringing together of Jedi somehow, and seeing just the start of this fresh new beginning for Jedi Knights across the galaxy. And then to me, Star Wars has been, reset and is good to go, and go into new directions. And, they've connected it to another galaxy where there might be real problems in there, and the Jedi from this galaxy have to go to that galaxy to help that one as well. I mean, they've got this method to get there now, that this new hyperspace thing could become more commonplace, and it just expands the galaxy even further. So yeah, as you could probably tell, I loved this episode. If my emotions didn't convey it enough, then yeah, I don't know what will, but I wasn't expecting any of that. The whole episode was just perfection in my eyes, and I loved it so much. There's nothing more else I can say and how good it was. Honestly, it was just spectacular. I'm pretty sure that you felt how I felt during that as well. So it comes to the point where I'm going to ask you to leave me all of your dying thoughts down below of what you thought about this episode, how you reacted, how you felt, where you think this is going, and of course the main thing is those Clone Wars scenes. Please tell me all of how you were feeling and how cool that was. I mean, maybe you didn't like it, but yeah, I'd love to know all of your thoughts for that, and I look forward to reading it all. The whole thing was spectacular. Wow, what a time to be a Star Wars fan. I hope you enjoyed this. Like if you did, subscribe if you're not already. Take care of yourself. Remember, the Force will be with you always.